I'm sitting at this cute lakeside restaurant checking my phone for the 14th time in 6 minutes, and I'm starting to realize that Graham from Tinder isn't coming. I know. I should have seen it coming when his last message 3 hours ago was just, "See you there," with no confirmation, no excitement, nothing. But here I am anyway, wearing the good jeans that actually make my butt look incredible, my hair cooperating for once in its life, and a fresh coat of the lipstick I spent 20 minutes picking out at Sephora last week. The waiter's already circled back twice with that sympathetic look that makes me want to crawl under the table, and I keep smiling like I'm totally fine, just early, definitely not being stood up. I refresh our message thread, still nothing. The last thing he sent was at 4:30 and it's now 7:47. Our reservation was for 7. I take another sip of water, and my stomach twists because I'm that girl now. The one sitting alone at a romantic restaurant on a Friday night, clearly waiting for someone who isn't showing up. There's a couple 2 tables over who keep glancing at me with pity, and I want to scream that this was supposed to be different, that Graham seemed nice, that we'd been messaging for 2 weeks and he'd actually asked about my day and remembered that I work at a bookstore and that I have a cat named Hemingway. The worst part? I can see myself in the window reflection, and I look good, like really good. I did the winged eyeliner that usually goes catastrophically wrong, and it's perfect. My hair has actual volume. I'm wearing the necklace my best friend says makes me look effortlessly hot, and I'm sitting here alone, watching all of it go to waste. Ready to order? The waiter's back, and his voice is gentle in that way that makes everything worse. Just a few more minutes, I say, my voice embarrassingly bright. He's probably just stuck in traffic. But we both know that's not true because this restaurant is right off the highway, and traffic's been clear all evening. I checked Google Maps 17 times before leaving my apartment. The waiter nods and retreats, and I'm about to pull up Uber to just go home and spend the night hate-watching rom-coms when I hear it. Are you kidding me right now? The voice comes from the table directly behind me, and it's male, frustrated, and apparently talking to his phone. I try not to listen, but the restaurant's small, and the acoustics are perfect for eavesdropping. 20 minutes before we're supposed to meet, and you're just, you know what? Forget it. I hear him set his phone down harder than necessary, and I can't help but glance over my shoulder. The guy's probably mid-20s. Dark hair that looks like he ran his hands through it too many times, wearing a button-down that's slightly too nice for a casual date, and he's staring at his phone like it personally betrayed him. Our eyes meet for a second, and I whip back around, mortified that he caught me looking. Unbelievable, he mutters, loud enough that I definitely hear it. And that's when it clicks. The too nice shirt, the single-place setting, the checking his phone obsessively, the frustration. He got stood up too. I'm weighing whether acknowledging the shared humiliation would make things better or infinitely worse when the waiter appears at his table. Will anyone be joining you this evening? Apparently not, the guy says, and there's something in his voice, not quite bitterness, more like exhausted resignation, that makes my chest ache in recognition. I hear the waiter offer the same sympathetic spiel about taking his time, and then footsteps, and then suddenly someone's standing at my table. It's him. Hey, so this is going to sound insane, he says, and up close I can see his eyes are this really striking light brown, almost amber, and he looks nervous and determined at the same time. But I'm pretty sure we're both having the same terrible night, and I'm wondering if you want to be stood up together instead of separately. I blink at him. What? Your date didn't show. He gestures at my single place setting, my phone face up on the table still open to the Tinder message thread. Mine just canceled 20 minutes ago via text. We both got dressed up, we're both here, the restaurant's beautiful, there's that whole lake trail thing right outside, and honestly, he runs his hand through his hair, making it stick up even more. Sitting alone feeling sorry for myself sounds terrible, and you look like you're about 3 minutes from either crying or committing murder, so I wasn't going to cry, I say automatically, even though I definitely was. Right, definitely the murder option then. He grins, and it transforms his whole face from stressed to something genuinely warm. I'm Weston, by the way. Hinge date fail. You? Tessa, I say, and then add, Tinder, Graham, who apparently doesn't believe in the concept of showing up. Graham sounds like a tool. My date was, he stops himself. Actually, you know what? It doesn't matter. The point is, we're both here, we're both dressed up, and that waiter's going to keep giving us sad eyes unless we do something about it. He pauses. So what do you say? Want to have the weirdest first date that's technically not a date of your life? I should say no. This is objectively strange. I don't know this person. He could be anyone. But there's something about the way he's standing there, putting himself out there after already getting rejected tonight, that makes me want to say yes. Plus, the alternative is going home alone to overthink why I'm apparently not worth showing up for. Okay, I hear myself say. But if you're a serial killer, I'm going to be really annoyed. Deal. And same. He pulls out the chair across from me and sits down like this is completely normal. So, Tessa, who was supposed to meet Graham, tell me something. That's pretty vague. That's the point. I want to know something real, not the stuff you'd put on a dating profile. I pick up my water glass just to have something to do with my hands. Like what? Like, he drums his fingers on the table thinking, what's something you're irrationally afraid of? I laugh because that's not what I expected. Getting stuck in an elevator. His eyebrows shoot up. Seriously? I've never even been stuck in one. But I have this recurring nightmare about it, and now every time I get in an elevator, I'm convinced it's going to happen. I hold my breath the entire time. He stops, and something weird crosses his face. Okay, that's actually really strange. Thanks. No, I mean, he leans forward. I have the exact same fear, like exactly. I take the stairs whenever possible, and when I can't, I spend the whole elevator ride planning my survival strategy. I set my water glass down. You're making that up. I'm literally not. Ask me what floor I live on. What floor do you live on? 3rd. I could have gotten a better apartment on the 8th floor for the same price, but I specifically chose the 3rd floor because I can handle 3 flights of stairs. My friends think I'm insane. I work on the 2nd floor, I admit. I told my boss it was for the exercise. We stare at each other for a second, and then we're both laughing, and it's the kind of laugh that releases all the tension from sitting here alone feeling pathetic for the last hour. The waiter appears, looking genuinely relieved that I'm no longer sitting by myself. Can I get you folks started with some drinks? Whatever the cheapest wine is, Weston says, and then looks at me. Unless you want something else? Wine's perfect. The waiter leaves, and Weston Weston leans back in his chair, studying me. So this is already going better than my actual date would have gone. How do you know? Because we've established we have the same irrational fear. We're bonding over shared rejection, and you haven't asked me what I do for work yet, which means this might actually be a real conversation. What if I was about to ask? Were you? No, I admit. I was going to ask why you picked this restaurant. She picked it, said it was romantic or whatever. I just agreed to show up. He pauses. Or was supposed to show up at the right time anyway. What about Graham the tool? I picked it. I thought the lake trail would be nice for after dinner, if things went well. I can hear how sad that sounds. I had this whole thing planned. Hey, his voice goes soft. His loss. Seriously. I look up, and he's not doing that thing guys do where they're just saying what they think you want to hear. He actually means it. Thanks, I say quietly. The wine arrives, and Weston raises his glass. To Graham, and he pauses. I don't even want to say her name. To the people who stood us up and have no idea what they're missing. I clink my glass against his. That was actually kind of smooth. I have my moments. He takes a sip and makes a face. This wine is terrible. It's really bad. I agree, trying not to laugh. Want to just skip dinner and walk the trail? We can grab food after if we don't hate each other. And just like that, we're getting up. Weston's throwing cash on the table for the wine, and we're walking out of the restaurant into the cooling evening air. The sun's starting to set, turning everything golden and pink, and the lake spreads out before us like glass. Okay, this is actually really beautiful, Weston says, shoving his hands in his pockets as we head toward the trail entrance. I'm mad I have to admit she had good taste in date spots. Same. Graham's taste in restaurants was apparently his only redeeming quality. The trail winds along the lake, tree-lined and peaceful, with benches every so often facing the water. There are a few other couples walking, some joggers, a family with a dog. It's the kind of scene that should make me feel worse about being stood up, but somehow it doesn't. So, Weston says as we fall into step beside each other, what do you actually do? Since I'm not supposed to ask, but I'm curious. I work at a bookstore, the indie one downtown, the Wandering Page. No way, I love that place. The one with the cat? Hemingway. He's actually my cat. I bring him to work. That's the best thing I've heard all day. What's he like? And just like that, we're talking about Hemingway, and I'm showing Weston the 73 photos on my phone, and he's genuinely interested, asking questions about whether Hemingway prefers classics or contemporary fiction, making jokes about cat-ear taste. He sleeps in the poetry section, I explain. Exclusively. Won't touch anything else. A cat of culture? The most cultured. I pocket my phone. What about you? Do you have any pets? I'm allergic, he says sadly, but I live vicariously through other people's pets. My roommate has a dog I'm obsessed with. We walk in comfortable silence for a moment, and I'm hyper-aware of how close we're walking, how every so often our arms almost brush. There's this energy between us, like we're both aware of each other in a way that's exciting and nerve-wracking at the same time. Can I ask you something? Weston says suddenly. Sure. Why'd you say yes to this? He gestures between us. Like, I know we were both having a terrible night, but you could have just gone home. Instead, you're walking around a lake with a complete stranger. I think about it. Honestly, you seem genuine. Like you were actually disappointed about getting stood up, not just annoyed about wasting time. And when you came over, you weren't trying to pick me up or whatever. You just wanted company. That's exactly it, he says, turning to look at me. I wasn't even planning to date right now. My sister convinced me to try the apps, said I needed to put myself out there more, and I matched with Hannah and she seemed nice enough, but I wasn't expecting anything. And then she canceled, and I was more disappointed than I thought I'd be, like I'd actually gotten my hopes up without realizing it. I know exactly what you mean. Graham and I had been messaging for 2 weeks. I thought we had this connection, and then he just didn't show up, didn't even send a text. Weston stops himself. Sorry, I'm trying not to trash talk him too much even though he clearly deserves it. You can trash talk him a little, I won't mind. Graham sounds like the kind of guy who doesn't re-rack his weights at the gym. I burst out laughing. That's so specific. It's the worst personality trait. It says everything you need to know about a person. We've reached a clearing where the trail opens up to a perfect view of the lake, the water reflecting the sunset in streaks of pink and orange. There's a bench, and Weston gestures to it. Want to sit for a minute? We sit, and for a moment we just look at the view. It's peaceful in a way I didn't know I needed tonight. The stress of waiting, of being stood up, of feeling unwanted. It's all starting to fade. Okay, real talk, Weston says. Why online dating? You seem cool, you work at a bookstore with a cat, you're not terrible to look at. Wow, such a compliment. I'm trying to be smooth and failing miserably. He grins. What I mean is, why the apps? Why not meet people the normal way? What's the normal way anymore? Everyone's on their phones, and it's not like people strike up conversations in bookstores like they do in movies. I pull my knees up, wrapping my arms around them. What about you? My sister. She's super happily married, and she's convinced I'm going to die alone if I don't try online dating. She made me a profile while I was in the bathroom at Christmas dinner. She made your profile? I'm not kidding. She used a photo of me holding her baby and everything. Very calculated. Did it work? I got a lot of matches. Turns out people love a guy with a baby, even when you clarify in your bio that it's your nephew. I'm laughing again, and it strikes me how much I've laughed in the last 30 minutes. More than I have in weeks. How old's your nephew, I ask. 8 months. His name's Leo, and he's the best human being on the planet. I'm obsessed with him. Weston pulls out his phone and shows me his lock screen. A chubby baby with Weston's eyes. Mid-laugh. That's him. He's adorable. He's perfect. My sister says I'm going to spoil him, but that's literally my job as an uncle. He puts his phone away and looks at me. Do you have siblings? A younger brother. He's 19 in college. We're really close. What's his name? Darren. He's studying engineering and sends me math memes I don't understand, but I pretend I do because I don't want him to think I'm uncool. That's actually really sweet. He's a good kid. I worry about him constantly though, like probably too much. I call him every Sunday to make sure sure he's eating real food and not just instant ramen. My sister does that to me, Weston says. She's 3 years older, and she acts like she's my mom. It's annoying and also kind of nice. Exactly. A jogger passes by, and we both shift slightly on the bench. The air feels charged somehow, like we're dancing around something neither of us wants to name yet. Can I tell you something kind of heavy? He says suddenly. Yeah, of course. He's quiet for a second, staring at the lake. My mom died when I was 12. Cancer. It was fast, like 6 months from diagnosis to gone, and my sister basically raised me after that. My dad he was there, but he wasn't really there, you know? He was dealing with his own grief, so it was just me and my sister figuring things out. My chest goes tight. Weston, I'm so sorry. It's okay. I mean, it's not, but it's been 14 years. I've had time to process it. He looks at me, but that's why I'm so close with my sister. She gave up a lot to take care of me, and why I'm obsessed with Leo. Family's really important to me. I don't know what possesses me to say it, but the words come out before I can stop them. My mom died too. I was 10. Car accident. Weston's head snaps toward me. Tessa. It's why I'm so protective of my brother. He was only 4 when it happened, so he barely remembers her. I basically helped raise him. My voice cracks slightly. Our dad's great, but he was a mess for a long time. Still is sometimes. I can't believe. He stops. We both lost our moms. Yeah. We sit there, and the weight of what we've just shared settles between us. It's not awkward, though. It's the opposite. It's like finding someone who speaks the same language you thought only you knew. Do you ever feel like you're constantly waiting for the other shoe to drop? Weston asks quietly. Like something bad's always about to happen? Every single day, I whisper. I thought I was the only one who felt like that. You're not. He shifts closer, and now our shoulders are touching. I'm sorry you went through that. I'm sorry you did too. We're quiet for a long moment, watching the sun sink lower, the sky turning deeper shades of pink and purple. The vulnerability hanging between us feels significant, like we've crossed some invisible threshold. This got deep fast, Weston finally says. Is that bad? No, it's actually really nice. I don't usually talk about this stuff with people. My friends know, but we don't really discuss it, you know? Same. People get uncomfortable. Yeah. He bumps his shoulder against mine gently. Thanks for telling me. Thanks for telling me first. His phone buzzes in his pocket, and he pulls it out, glancing at the screen. His expression changes, something complicated crossing his face. Everything okay? I ask. Yeah, just... He hesitates, then shows me the screen. It's a text from someone named Hannah. Hannah, hey, I'm really sorry about tonight. Something came up and I panicked. Can we reschedule? My stomach drops. Hannah, his hinge date, the one who stood him up. Oh, I say, trying to keep my voice neutral. Weston's looking at me, not at his phone. She wants to reschedule. I see that. Tessa, you should respond to her, I say, and I hate how my voice sounds. Small, like I'm trying to be cool about something that's actually making my chest tight. I mean, you guys had plans? Maybe she had a real emergency. Maybe. He's still looking at me. But I'm here with you. Because we both got stood up. That was the whole thing. I can feel myself pulling back, creating distance even though we're still sitting on the same bench. It's not like this is a real date, isn't it? The question hangs there, and I don't know how to answer it. Because what is this? We're two strangers who bonded over rejection. Just because we happen to share some deep stuff doesn't mean I don't know what this is, I finally say. But she clearly wants to see you, and you were disappointed when she canceled, so I was disappointed, Weston interrupts. Past tense. Before I met you. Weston, hold on. He opens his phone and starts typing. I watch him, my heart doing complicated things in my chest. After a second, he shows me what he wrote. Weston, thanks for reaching out, but I don't think we're a good match. Good luck with everything. He hits send before I can process what just happened. Why did you do that, I ask? Because I'm sitting here with someone who makes me laugh, who understands things about me I didn't expect anyone to understand, who I can actually talk to without feeling like I'm performing. He turns to face me fully. Hannah stood me up. Yeah, maybe she had a reason, but she didn't communicate. She just left me sitting there. And then you and I met, and this whole night turned into something I didn't expect and didn't know I needed. But what if this is just... I struggle for the words. What if we're just bonding because we were both vulnerable? What if this isn't real? Does it feel real to you? I want to say no. I want to protect myself, to not get attached to someone I met an hour ago under the strangest circumstances. But sitting here with Weston, with his shoulder pressed against mine and his eyes searching my face like I'm someone worth figuring out. Yes, I admit quietly, it feels real. Then can we just see where this goes, without overthinking it? I'm really good at overthinking. I noticed. He smiles. But maybe we could try not doing that, just for tonight? I take a breath. Okay, just for tonight. Good. He nudges me with his shoulder. Now can we keep walking? Because I'm pretty sure there's more trail, and I'm not ready for this to be over yet. We stand, and the tension from the last few minutes dissipates as we start walking again. But something's shifted. We're both more aware of what this is becoming. So, Weston says after a minute, tell me something else about you. Like what? Like, what's something you've never told anyone on a first date before? I think about it. I write poetry. Really? Really? Bad poetry, probably. I've never shown it to anyone. I just write it in a notebook and hide it in my bedside drawer like I'm 14. That's not bad. That's actually really cool. What about you? What's something you've never told anyone on a first date? He's quiet for a second. I write too. Not poetry. More like short stories, I guess. But same deal. I've never shown anyone. I stop walking and tug his arm so he turns to face me. You write stories? Don't make a big deal about it. I'm making a huge deal about it. What kind of stories? I don't know. Different kinds. Some are sci-fi, some are just slice of life stuff. None of them are finished. I just start them and then abandon them halfway through. Why? Because I convince myself they're terrible before I can finish them. I do the exact same thing, I say, with poems. I'll write half of one and then convince myself it's pretentious garbage. Is it pretentious garbage? Probably. Is your stuff? Definitely. We grin at each other, and it strikes me how surreal this whole thing is. 2 hours ago, I was sitting in a restaurant alone, feeling sorry for myself, and now I'm standing on a trail at sunset with someone who understands the exact brand of creative anxiety I've never been able to explain to anyone. We should make a deal, Wes Weston says. What kind of deal? We both finish something. You finish a poem, I finish a story, and then we show each other. That's terrifying. I know, but we could be terrified together. When would we do this? I don't know. Next week? Next month? Whenever feels right. He reaches out and takes my hand, and the touch sends electricity up my arm. The point is, we'd have a reason to see each other again. We don't need a reason, I say, and my voice comes out quieter than I intended. I want to see you again anyway. Yeah? Yeah. His smile is so genuine it makes my chest ache. Good, because I really want to see you again too. We start walking again, hands linked, and the trail curves deeper into the trees. The sun's almost set now. The sky that deep purple blue that comes right before full dark. Tell me something else, Weston says. Something random. Like what? Like, what's your favorite word? That's such a weird question. That's why it's interesting. I think about it. Luminous. I love the way it sounds. Like it means exactly what it's describing. That's a good one. Mine's ephemeral. Because everything is, he says. And there's something in his voice that makes me think he's talking about more than just words. And I think there's something beautiful about that. The temporary nature of things. That's kind of sad, or kind of hopeful. Like, if things are temporary, then the bad stuff doesn't last. But also you have to appreciate the good stuff while it's here. I digest that. Is that your philosophy about life, I guess? I never really thought about it like that, but yeah, everything's temporary. The good and the bad. So you might as well be present for it. I like that, I say softly. We walk in silence for a few minutes, and it's the comfortable kind. The kind where you don't feel pressure to fill the space with words. The path opens up again, running right along the water's edge. Can I ask you something personal? I say. After everything we've talked about tonight, I think personal is definitely on the table. Do you ever feel like you're waiting for your real life to start? Like everything you're doing is just practice for the actual thing? Weston stops walking and looks at me. All the time. Constantly. Really? Really? I feel like I'm in this weird holding pattern where I'm doing things. I have a job, an apartment, responsibilities, but it doesn't feel real yet. Like I'm still waiting for someone to tell me what I'm supposed to be doing. Oh my God, yes. Everyone around me seems to have their life figured out, and I'm just working at a bookstore with my cat, hoping I'm moving in the right direction. Your life sounds pretty great to me. So does yours. He smiles. Maybe we're both exactly where we're supposed to be, and we just can't see it yet. That's very philosophical for someone who designs logos for a living. Wait, I didn't tell you what I do. You mentioned it earlier? Graphic designer? Right, yeah. He grins. I contain multitudes. Clearly. We've reached another bend in the trail, and that's when I see him. Someone's walking toward us, and even from a distance, something about the walk is familiar, confident, purposeful. My stomach drops. Tessa! The voice carries across the distance, and I stop walking so abruptly that Weston almost runs into me. Is that? Weston starts. Graham. I finish, my voice hollow. And it is. It's Graham, wearing the exact outfit from his photos, his hair styled perfectly, walking toward us with an expression that's not quite apologetic enough. Oh, this is... Weston looks between me and Graham, who's getting closer. This is awkward. Tessa, hey. Graham's slightly out of breath when he reaches us, like he's been hurrying. I'm so sorry I'm late. I was 2 hours late, I interrupt, and my voice sounds strange to my own ears. You're 2 hours late, and you didn't text. I know. I feel terrible. He runs his hand through his hair, and I notice he doesn't actually look sorry at all. He looks mildly inconvenienced. I was playing this game with my roommates, and it was like a tournament thing, and I completely lost track of time. I didn't even realize until like 20 minutes ago. The words hang there. A game. He was playing a game. Are you serious right now? I hear myself say. I mean, yeah, it was this whole thing. We had money on it, and I was in the zone. He seems to realize how this sounds because he adds quickly. But I came as soon as I realized. I drove straight here. Weston makes a sound next to me that might be a laugh or a scoff. You were gaming. Graham's eyes flick to Weston for the first time, really looking at him. At our joined hands. Who's this? I'm Weston, Weston says. And there's an edge to his voice I haven't heard before. I'm the person who's been on a date with Tessa for the last hour and a half while you were playing video games. Graham's face flashes with something, a surprise, irritation, defensiveness. Dude, we had plans. Plans you forgot about because you were gaming, Weston says calmly. With your roommates. For money. It wasn't... Look, can we talk? Graham says to me, completely ignoring Weston now. Alone? I look at Graham. Really look at him. He's exactly as attractive as his photos. Exactly as charming as his messages suggested. But standing here now, after spending the last hour and a half with Weston, I can see him clearly. The annoyed impatience under his apologetic smile. The way he keeps checking over his shoulder like he's in a hurry to get this over with. The complete lack of awareness that showing up 2 hours late because he was gaming isn't something you can just smile your way through. Then I look at Weston. His jaw is tight, but he's not trying to pull me away or make the decision for me. He's just standing there, his hand still holding mine, waiting, giving me space to choose. And the thing is, I've already chosen... No, I say to Graham. What? No, we don't need to talk. You stood me up. You didn't text, you didn't call, you didn't think about me at all for 2 hours because you were playing a video game. It wasn't just any game. I don't care what game it was. I'm surprised by how steady my voice sounds. I got dressed up. I picked this place. I waited for you at a restaurant for over an hour, alone, feeling like an idiot. And you were at home playing video games. I said I was sorry. You said you felt terrible. That's not the same thing. And honestly, I don't think you do feel terrible. I think you're annoyed that I'm not just accepting your apology and acting grateful you showed up at all. Graham's expression hardens. So what? You're choosing this random guy over me? Someone you just met? He's not random, I say firmly. His name is Weston. He got stood up too. And he's been kind and present and interesting for the last hour and a half, which is more than I can say for you. Are you serious right now? You don't even know him. I know he showed up when he said he would. I know he didn't make me wait alone while he played video games. I know he's actually here right now, choosing to be here. My voice gets stronger, And I know that in the last 90 minutes, he's made me feel more seen and valued than you did in 2 weeks of messages. Graham looks between us, and I can see him calculating whether it's worth fighting for. It takes him about 3 seconds to decide it's not. Whatever. This is insane. He's already turning away, pulling out his phone. You're making a huge mistake. Have fun with your game, Weston calls after him. Graham flips him off without turning around and keeps walking, and within seconds he's disappeared around the bend. We stand there in silence for a moment, and I can feel my hands shaking with adrenaline. So that was Graham, Weston finally says. That was Graham. My voice comes out shakier than I want. He was playing video games. Not even like an important video game, just a tournament, with his roommates. For money. The most valid of reasons. I start laughing, and it's the kind of laugh that's close to crying, all the tension from the confrontation releasing at once. Weston's laughing too, and then somehow we're standing in the middle of the trail, absolutely losing it. I can't believe I'm trying to catch my breath. Video games. That was his excuse. And he acted like you should be understanding about it, like it was a reasonable thing. The audacity, Weston says, shaking his head. The sheer, unmitigated audacity. We finally stop laughing, and Weston's looking at me with something in his expression that makes my breath catch. You okay? He asks softly. Yeah, actually, yeah. I realize I mean it. I thought I'd feel bad, but I just feel relieved. Good, because he didn't deserve you. Not even a little bit. Thank you, I say quietly, for standing there with me, for not making it weird. Of course, though I was fully prepared to fight him if necessary. Fight him? I mean, I would have lost. I'm a graphic designer. My biggest physical challenge is opening jars. But I would have tried. I laugh, and it feels good. Normal. My hero. I do what I can. We start walking again, and I can feel the shift between us. Something's changed. The whole encounter with Graham made everything more real somehow, more intentional. I chose Weston, not because Graham wasn't there, but because even when Graham showed up, I still wanted Weston. Can I tell you something? Weston says after a minute. Yeah. When Graham showed up, I thought you might go with him, or at least want to talk to him, figure things out. Really? Really? I mean, you guys had been messaging for 2 weeks? You had plans? And we just met like less than 2 hours ago. He looks at me. So when you chose to stay with me, he pauses. I've never had anyone choose me like that before. Like, obviously and without question. My throat gets tight. Weston, it made me feel important. Seen, both. He squeezes my hand. So thank you for that. You are important, I say firmly, and seen. So are you. We walk in silence for a moment, the weight of what just happened settling over us. The trail curves around a small inlet, and the water here is perfectly still, reflecting the first stars starting to appear. Should we find somewhere to sit? Weston suggests. Process what just happened? Yeah, that sounds good. We find a flat rock near the water's edge and climb onto it, sitting side by side with our feet dangling over the edge. The stone's still warm from the day's sun, and the sound of small waves lapping is soothing. So, I say, that happened. That definitely happened. I just told off a guy I'd been excited to meet for like 2 weeks. You were amazing, seriously. I don't usually do stuff like that. I'm usually the person who makes excuses for people, who gives them too many chances. What was different this time? I think about it. You, having met you, seeing what it could be like with someone who actually shows up and pays attention and cares. I look at him. It made me realize I don't have to settle for someone who thinks video games are more important than me. For the record, I'm more of a board game person anyway. I laugh. Good to know. We sit quietly for a moment, and then Weston's phone buzzes. He pulls it out, glances at the screen, and I see his expression change. What? I ask. It's my sister, asking how the date went. He's typing something, and then he stops looking at me. What should I tell her? I don't know. What happened on your date? Well, I got stood up. Then I met this girl at the restaurant who'd also been stood up. We decided to be stood up together. We walked around a lake and discovered we have the same irrational fears and have both lost our moms and both secretly write things we're too scared to share. He's still looking at me. Her original date showed up 2 hours late because he was playing video games and she chose me anyway. And now we're sitting on a rock by a lake and I really don't want this night to end. My heart's pounding. That's a pretty good date story. It's the best date story I've ever had. He puts his phone away without sending anything. I'll text her later. I don't want to be on my phone right now. No? No. I want to be here with you completely. The way he says it makes something flutter in my chest. We're sitting close enough that I can feel the warmth of his body, see the way the fading light catches in his eyes. Tessa, he says softly. Yeah? Can I tell you what I'm thinking? Please. I'm thinking that this started as the worst night, and it turned into something I didn't expect and didn't know I needed. I'm thinking that I've never felt this comfortable with someone this fast. I'm thinking, he pauses. I'm thinking that I really want to kiss you, but I don't want to rush anything or make you uncomfortable. And I'm not sure if that's okay to say, but I'm trying to be honest. And, Weston, I interrupt. Yeah? You're rambling. I know I do that when I'm nervous. Don't be nervous. That's easy to say, but you're sitting here looking like that and you chose me over video game guy, and I'm trying really hard not to mess this up. I turn to face him fully. You're not messing anything up. No? No. I take a breath. And for the record, I've been thinking about kissing you for the last 20 minutes. His eyes widen slightly. Really? Really? So if yes, I say, and then he's leaning in and I'm leaning in and then we're kissing. It's soft at first. Tentative. Both of us testing this new territory. But then his hand comes up to cup my face, and I'm reaching for his shirt, pulling him closer, and the kiss deepens. He tastes like cheap wine and possibility, and kissing him feels like the most natural thing in the world. When we finally pull apart, we're both slightly breathless. Wow, Weston says. Yeah. Yeah. He grins, and then we're kissing again, and I can feel him smiling against my mouth, and I'm smiling too, and it's perfect in a way I didn't know kissing could be. We break apart again, and Weston rests his forehead against mine. I know this is technically not a date because we both got stood up, he says, but can I be honest about something? Please. This is the best date I've ever been on. He pulls back to look at me. And I know that's maybe too much to say right now, but I don't want to pretend I'm not feeling this, whatever this is. What is this? I don't know, but I want to find out. He takes my hand again. Is that okay? Yeah, I whisper. That's okay. We sit there for a while longer, holding hands, occasionally kissing, talking about everything and nothing. He tells me about his graphic design projects, the difficult clients, the logo he's proud of that's on a billboard downtown. I tell him about the bookstore, the regular customers, the book club we host every month. You should come to book club, I say. Really? Really? It's the third Thursday of every month. We're doing the night circus next month. I love that book. See, you have to come. Okay, I'll be there. The certainty in his voice makes me believe him. Eventually, we realize how late it's getting. The stars are out in full force now, and the temperature's dropped enough that I'm shivering slightly. We should probably head back, Weston says reluctantly. Probably. Neither of us moves. I don't want this to end, he admits. Me neither. So let's not let it. He stands and helps me up. We'll go back to the parking lot, we'll exchange numbers, we'll make actual plans, and we'll see each other again. Soon. Promise? I promise. Tomorrow if you want. Tomorrow might be too soon. Sunday then? I laugh. Okay, Sunday. We walk back along the trail, and it feels different now. Less uncertain, more intentional. By the time we reach the parking lot, we've made plans for Sunday brunch, exchanged not just numbers, but Instagram handles and Spotify profiles, and discussed whether our first official date should count as the second date, or if this still counts as the first. It's Schrodinger's date, Weston decides. It's both the first date and not the first date, until we decide which one it is. That's not how Schrodinger's cat works. I'm applying it to dating. It's revolutionary. We've reached my car, and suddenly I don't know how to say goodbye. Do we hug? Kiss again? The whole night has been so strange and perfect that normal social conventions feel inadequate. Weston solves the problem by pulling me into a hug first, and it's warm and solid and feels like coming home. I let myself relax into it, my face against his shoulder, his arms around my back. Thank you for tonight, he says quietly into my hair. Thank you for asking me to be stood up with you. Best terrible idea I've ever had. When we pull apart, he keeps his hands on my waist and we're close enough that I have to tilt my head up to look at him. I'm going to text you tomorrow, he says. Fair warning, I'd be disappointed if you didn't. Good. He leans down and kisses me, soft and sweet. Drive safe, Tessa. You too, Weston. I get in my car, and he waits until I've started it before walking to his truck. We both pull out at the same time, and I watch his taillights in my rearview mirror until he turns the opposite direction. My phone buzzes before I'm even out of the parking lot. Unknown number. This is Weston. Just confirming you're real and tonight happened. I'm grinning like an idiot as I pull over to respond. Me. Real and happened. Also, you're supposed to wait until tomorrow to text. Weston. I don't follow rules. You should know this about me. Me. Good to know early. Weston. Did you get home safe yet? Me. Still driving. Don't text and drive. Weston. Says the person who just responded to my text while driving. Me. I'm pulled over. Weston. Sure you are. Me. I actually am, but I should actually start driving now. Weston. Fine. But I'm texting you for real tomorrow. Me. Can't wait. I put my phone in the cup holder and pull back onto the road, and I cannot stop smiling. When I get to a red light, I check my phone again. Weston. One more thing. Me. Yeah? Weston. Tonight was the best night I've had in a really long time. Me. Me too. Weston. Also, I can't believe you chose me over video game guy. Me. Weston. Weston. Sorry. Couldn't resist. Drive safe. For real this time. The drive home passes in a blur, my mind replaying the entire night. Getting stood up. Meeting Weston. The elevator fear revelation. Telling him about my mom. The misunderstanding with Hannah. Graham showing up with his pathetic excuse. Choosing Weston without hesitation. The kiss. The stars. His hand in mine. When I get home, Hemingway's waiting at the door, meowing indignantly that I'm late for his dinner. Hemingway, I had the weirdest night, I tell him as I scoop him up. I got stood up, and then I met someone, and he was perfect, and I think I might actually really like him. Hemingway meows, which I choose to interpret as encouragement. My phone buzzes. Weston. Home safe. Your turn? Me. Just got home. Currently being judged by my cat for being late with dinner. Weston. Tell Hemingway I'm sorry. His needs come first. Me. He says he forgives you. Weston. Generous of him. I feed Hemingway, change into pajamas, and flop onto my bed. Phone still in hand. Me. So. Weston. So. Me. Today was weird. Weston. The weirdest. Me. Good weird though. Weston. The best weird. There's a pause and then, Weston. Can I see you Sunday? I know we said brunch, but that feels too far away. My heart does a complete somersault. Me. What did you have in mind? Weston. Coffee tomorrow afternoon. There's this place near the bookstore. We could walk around downtown after. Me. That sounds perfect. Weston. 2 p.m.? Me. Yes. Weston. It's a date. Our second first date or first second date. I haven't decided yet. Me. We should probably figure out the numbering system. Weston. We have time. Me. Yeah, we do. Weston. I should probably let you sleep. Me. Probably. But I don't want to stop talking to you. Weston. Me neither. But tomorrow's only like 14 hours away. Me. You counted? Weston. I might have looked at the clock a few times. Me. That's kind of adorable. Weston. I'm trying to play it cool and failing miserably. Me. I like that you're not playing it cool. Weston. Good. Because I don't think I could if I tried. Me. Good night, Weston. Thank you for tonight, for all of it. Weston. Thank you for choosing me, even when you had the option not to. Me. It wasn't really a choice, it was just obvious. Weston. That means more than you know. Me. Good night. Weston. Good night, Tessa. Sweet dreams. I put my phone on my nightstand and stare at the ceiling, Hemingway curled up on my chest, and I think about temporary things and being present and choosing someone and being chosen. I think about elevator fears and dead moms and poetry we're too scared to share. I think about Graham showing up 2 hours late because of video games and how easily I said no. I think about Weston's hand in mine and his kiss and the way he said my name like it meant something. My phone lights up one more time. Weston. Sorry, one last thing. Me. What? Weston. I'm really glad Graham stood you up. I'm smiling so hard my face hurts. Me. Me too. Weston. Now actually good night. Me. Good night. I fall asleep with my phone in my hand and Hemingway on my chest and this strange bubbling feeling in my chest that feels like hope and possibility and something that might be the beginning of real life finally starting. Tomorrow can't come fast enough.